If you don't mind, can you please tell us why you want to do Blooded Science Communication?
Sure thing. Well, before I got into science communication, let me start at the very, very beginning, where my history as a Tennessean, I feel, really starts, right? So in the War of 1812, it's the United States, brand new, versus Mexico. Or, I'm sorry, versus Britain, actually. For the War of 1812, there was a battle in New Orleans. The state of Tennessee, which had only been around for a few years at this point, sends 2,000 volunteers under General Andrew Jackson down to New Orleans to help out this fledgling country. Ever since then, the state of Tennessee has been known as the Volunteer State. And that's a legacy that I grew up with, the Volunteer State. So, fast forward several years ahead in my life, I'm interested in environment, biodiversity conservation, global climate change, and I'm looking around and thinking, what can be done and what can I do? Who's out there that's going to help people get the message that species are disappearing, that global temperatures are going up, and that if we don't do something about it, things are going to go bad faster than we really think? Well, I'm a volunteer. I'm from the state of Tennessee, and people from the state of Tennessee always step up to the challenge when the people around them call. So I decided to jump headfirst into science communication, starting with environmental education, taking toddlers from the ages of 2 all the way up to people in their 80s out into nature and saying, look around you, this place is incredible, there are so many things out here that you didn't even know that existed. All you have to do is look, and once you look and you notice, then you start to care about it. And when you start to care about it, that's when you start wanting to protect it. In the environmental and nature interpretation community where I've really come up, we talk about caring for and then caring about. Once you care about a topic, then you're ready to start caring for it. Right now I work for the Duke Lemur Center, and in the education department at the Lemur Center, we would use those terms. We would say, we want people to visit the Lemur Center and we want them to have a great time. That's what they're there to do, is to have fun. But maybe while they're here, we can impart something to them about maybe global climate change, or maybe about how fast the lemurs are disappearing.
Good. Let me stop you right there. Give me a few, because the battery is about to run out and I have to change batteries.
Okay.
Give me some words about Madagascar lemurs, please.
Sure. So in Madagascar, almost a quarter of all lemur species, that's more than 100 species and subspecies, are threatened or endangered of becoming extinct very quickly. And in Madagascar, about 3/4 of everything that is living, whether it's plant or animal, is only found on that island. It's what we call endemic. There's one place in the world you can find a lemur. There's one place in the world you can find 2/3 of the species of frogs or geckos that live in Madagascar. And it's on this one place. And if the biodiversity of that one place disappears, who knows what we could be losing? We talk about things like maybe developments in medicine. For example, if frogs in Madagascar that secrete some kind of special mucus can help cure cancers, those frogs right now are disappearing. And scientists need to be getting to Madagascar, and they are, to try to do this research. But because of things like a rapid rate of deforestation and political turmoil across the island, these habitats are being destroyed. Right now in Madagascar, less than 10% of all the native forests in Madagascar are still available to lemurs. 90% of the forest that used to be on this island is gone forever. Maybe one day it could grow back up. At Durham in the Lemur Center, we have a really great message. The Lemur Center sits on 85 acres, and most of that 85 acres is covered in thriving, healthy, native pine forest. But it took 100 years to get there. We like to tell guests who visit the Lemur Center, look around you, this is healthy forest. In Madagascar, Madagascar looks like this used to. Agriculture. In Madagascar right now, most of the land is used for rice farming. 100 years ago in Durham, most of the land was used for corn, and cotton plantations, and some tobacco as well. But 100 years later, we have huge, thriving forests, and even in Durham, you can come and see lemurs jumping through the trees at the Lemur Center. We want to see that happen in Madagascar. We want to see many years down the road from now, we want to see healthy forests growing back up. We want to see the children who are in the schools now, in grade school, first, second, third grade, primary schools, going home to their families and saying, I want to make sure that I have a healthy, clean environment to grow up in, and I want, when I have kids, when I'm an adult, for them to be able to go into their forests and see lemurs.
Let me wrap that up for you. This is Chris, a native Tennessean who's volunteering out in Madagascar off the coast of Africa to help the local people rediscover their own environment, to help them have control over it, and to help them save it. To help them save it from being wiped out. Because it's both important to us as people and to itself and to the planet. Many bloody thanks.